Wait, you're telling me they have the man's fucking motorcycle that he essentially died on in the business building?
I doubt it was the one he died on, but it is a BMW motorcycle with a bunch of like random stickers from random countries. So I would assume it was a motorcycle this guy like actually rode. It might be the actual one. I don't know.
That'd be fucked up if it was the actual one.
Yeah, also, I would feel like the actual one's probably pretty wrecked. I mean, if he died riding.
Sometimes weird things happen where it's just like, yeah, like I would imagine, yeah, probably that they got pretty banged up, but I could see it just like kind of hitting at a weird angle and him just happening like fly off.
Yeah, I mean that can happen as well. Yeah.
But I would have to assume it was not the motorcycle. Like, and that would just be really like weird and morbid. I mean, it's kind of weird and morbid anyway. Although that it was apparently that guy's main passion, so who knows?
Wasn't he the one that spoke at our graduation?
I don't. No, he died. No. You know, he died before the graduation. He died our senior year.
Yeah, he died. November 30th, 2017 is the date of this IndyStar article.
Yeah, because
he died doing what he loved to do, motorcycling in foreign places.
Yes.
God, what a sentence!
Just.
I will never forget when I first read that sentence, and the reason it was because it happened to be while the lights were going down at the Nutcracker.
I think we were watching that together.
Yes, I vaguely remember. I think what happened was I happened to like be killing time right as it might have been like the intermission, and I saw like, oh, like Andre B. Lacy died. It's like, oh, what happened here? And I clicked on it, and then that was like the second paragraph, and I read it, and I think I immediately showed it to you, Duncan, and then like the lights went down.
Yeah, and we were just cracking up at a very inappropriate time.
Yeah, because it was just like I have not read. Like, just as sentences go, that is probably one of the more unexpected ones I've ever read.
Yeah, it is. He died doing what he loved to do. And, you know, you think it'd be like, oh, doing something with his family. And you're like, nope, riding motorcycles in foreign countries.
Well, and it's like, it's just one of those things where, like, the sentence itself is, like, strange and odd in its, like, construction. But then, like, the series of events that would require to get to that point is also just strange and odd. Like, there's no way you could have presented that in, like, a way that wasn't just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Hey, I don't know if we ever read the rest of this article, because there's another fucking whopper down here. Lacy was a longtime motorcycle enthusiast. He told IndyStar previously that he spent the summer of 2015 riding a motorcycle from Moscow to Hong Kong. While riding in China a couple years ago, he was seriously injured when he got clipped by a van and thrown through a fruit stand.
My cabbages!
He was most upset about his motorcycle getting damaged on that trip.
I almost kind of, like, love this guy because, like, imagine just having, like, just the amount of, like, so much money that you could just do whatever the fuck you wanted, and your thing was, like, I want to, like, ride a motorcycle from, like, all over, like, every other country. Like, it's kind of cool. Like...
No, that's an incredibly cool thing to do.
Like, it's the sort of thing, like, I would want to spend my money on if I had that kind of money. I don't know.
I'd probably choose a safer mode of transport personally.
Yes, I would not be riding a motorcycle. Yes.
Like, I would own a motorcycle for the aesthetic of it, but I probably just wouldn't ride it.
So you are weak of body and mind, is what you say.
All right, Duncan, just heads up. Avoid Botswana.
Why?
That's where he died.
Oh, okay.
So,
I mean, I'm not really a motorcycle guy either. They seem like death traps, but...
So you are weak of body and mind.
Probably.
Also, like, it must be, like, really cool to, like, ride from Moscow to, like, China. Was it Beijing, they said?
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. All right.
Fucking... I don't know, there's gonna be a CCP joke, but I didn't know how to phrase it.
Yeah, that would be, I think, very cool. I think I took a picture of that motorcycle. I wanted to, like, write some joke about it, and then I just didn't get around to it.
Whenever people are.
My midsty bibsty has.
That isn't
been-
anything.
What?
The not words you just said.
Well, that's what I. Just what I do.
All right. Check the Discord. Like something should pop up in the Discord in just a minute. The office was unfortunately like locked, so I couldn't get in. So I had to take a picture through like a piece of glass, but. There's just a motorcycle sitting in the middle of the business building on the 3rd floor.
You sent it to the messenger.
Oh yeah, it was on my phone, so.
I guess there was just some enormous fucking Switch Overwatch patch, and I know I don't have space for it. I really need a new fucking SD card.
Yeah.
Especially if you are if you were thinking about possibly downloading.
Yeah.
Like that. Okay, either this guy also took immaculate care of his motorcycles, or someone like just donated an essentially new one in his honor.
Probably something like that, or I'd imagine if you had that kind of money, you probably owned like 7 or 8 different like high-end motorcycles.
That's true, and he could also probably pay someone to take care of it. Unless, I mean, also he's a fucking hobbyist motorcycle guy. Maybe he did just take care of it like that.
Yeah, like that's one of those things where like when you have that kind of money, sometimes it is just like you want to like learn to like actually do that kind of shit.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely thought about like, what if I become a motorcycle guy? But then I'm like, well, no, for all of the safety reasons primarily.
I wouldn't do it. I rented a motorcycle once and it was terrifying, and I hated every second of it.
Yeah, like if I trusted other motorists in any way, maybe.
No,
And even then, it's a maybe.
like no, motorists are assholes and terrible. Like I mentioned to you, Chris, that I'm like getting back into like biking, and I can get to a bunch of trails, but I have to ride on a road for like a mile and a half, and I am absolutely terrified of that. I mentioned it to my mom, and she expressed like serious concern about me doing this, because that is just how stupid and terrible most drivers are. Speaking of, did you guys hear about that basketball player?
It's like the worst time of year to be like, oh, did you hear that one specific thing about that one basketball player?
No, he's just this retired basketball player, and he happened to be like riding a bike on the road, and he got hit from behind, and now he's paralyzed from the neck down.
Oh no, I did not hear about that basketball player.
Yeah. So that was a nice story to see.
I thought this was going to be like a March Madness pivot, but no, it was a March Sadness pivot.
It was a March Sadness pivot. Nope, no March Madness allowed here in Indianapolis. 0 March Madness.
Not in Indianapolis.
Nope. If you can rate March Madness on a scale from 1 to 10, we are like a -4.
In 49 states, it's just basketball, but in Indiana, it is also just basketball.
There's Indiana is the most anti-basketball state in the union. You heard it here first.
Has anybody made a lobby on this demo?
Yes. I put the information into the Discord.
Oh. So you did.
But yeah, it is. There's nothing. I haven't really noticed anything too, like. Well, they've had to like crack down on security for the campus because we're gonna have a bunch of people who like, you know, don't actually go here walking around, and so all the buildings are locked up. Which I doubt they would usually do that, but obviously like pandemic, so. So that's been fun. Butler put up a bunch of. They replaced all of the old like hanging banners around campus with new ones.
Such
So that's
as
something.
my friend Duncan has joined the lobby.
do you remember the random banners that they had on like the parking garage?
Yeah, there was like, it was like, oh, arts or whatever, because it was facing Shrot, and then there was like a guy with a beaker probably staring at a fucking liquid.
Yeah, doing the most like cliche like science thing. Yeah, those have been replaced with like words. So it's just like commitment and I don't know, stick to itiveness. I don't even remember. I pass them every day, and I just.
I hope one of them is stick to itiveness.
No, it's already
I have
much
to
better.
shrink the font so much to get it.
It's like purpose or something. I don't know. And it's like what I just said was much better.
March Madness starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
Have you made your picks?
I mean,
No.
the first 4 is happening already.
Yeah, it's true. Oh shit, yeah, that fucking Wichita Drake game was tight as hell, actually. What was the... How did that finish up? Drake held on to win by 1.
Nice. I mean, sounds like a good game. I'm not paying attention. I don't even know what teams are in the tournament. I assume just... I just haven't really been paying attention to sports in general this year.
Right, that's the thing. Yeah, I also haven't really, but when I'm done with work tomorrow and all weekend, I'll just have a stream of March Madness going somewhere.
Yeah, that's
Because
fair.
it's fucking March Madness.
Yeah.
And I will singularly choose games that are being played in Hinkle.
Hey, yeah, fair.
Because that's cool as hell.
It is cool as hell. And, like, honestly...
And we're not
like,
going to take it anymore.
Yeah. Like, honestly, like, they should start doing shit like that in normal years. Like, I know they won't because, like, Hinkle has, like, a 3,000 person capacity or whatever. But...
Also because
like,
of, like, home court advantage or whatever.
Yeah, but, like... It's just, like, Hinkle's such a cool stadium. Like, Hinkle's, like, a better stadium than, like, you know, pretty much any other place you would actually play these games in a normal, like, year.
How the fuck... I should do the Wirebug tutorial. They'll teach it to me when I fucking play the game, right?
Probably.
In a week.
But yeah, I don't know. I might try to turn on some of the random Hinkle games. If I was vaccinated, I might actually go, but not a smart move at the moment, I don't think.
I'm tempted to agree.
How do I make my doggy jump instead of me jump?
Dog jump is the trigger. The right trigger. Which isn't
weird.
amazing. Yeah, I agree.
And then you can drift with something?
The left trigger?
Yep. Yep, it's left trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember how to play this game.
Yeah, that's why we're fucking killing an Arzuros. Also, did you even try out the bow at all when we were playing it in the first run? I did not hear an answer.
I did not.
Yeah, oh yeah, and they fucking completely changed bow since the
How
last
do I-
new Monster Hunter you played.
Like, does it just aim for me now?
I barely understand. You have to, like, you use one trigger to like do the aim down sight situation, and then the other trigger to tense the bow string, I think.
Cool.
And you hold on to it, and there are like 3 different levels of charge, and they destroy your stamina.
What do I do?
Oh, I got him roped.
What was your question, Duncan?
I was just saying, how do you do your fucking whole insect boy moves? But,
Good job, Chris. Hit B. All right.
No, because I never remember that exists. If I never remember, I mean that was the second time I ever did that.
That's fine. I was trying to remind you, but I might have had it a second too late for it to be useful. So.
My brain is also slow presently.
Fair. I mean, I'm pretty. I had a test today, and so like I'm pretty out of it. Gosh.
Were we given?
it's not that much, really. Well,
Is it not?
I mean, you can do a few more fancy things, but this is pretty much always how they'll work.
There's also like the just heal button,
Oh, yeah.
which was not in World. It was a bunch of rocks that constantly fucking tripped your teammates and did like 1 KO damage if a rock specifically hit the monster's like brain. Not the rest of the head, just the brain.
Ow.
Yeah, I can't wait until I can play this game and like eat for max health and also have armor that is functional.
Yes.
Only in defense, because fucking there are only 3 skills that matter in Monster Hunter anymore.
Yes.
It's Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, I'm with you, Chris.
Thanks. Tim would back me up. That's a new attack.
The other one is here.
Oh, it was that new attack.
Come on.
I've decided against uploading this video now since I have done poorly. I hold the
Alright.
keys.
Yeah, I guess I do need to get one of those things just to keep you honest.
That'd be funny. I like
video-
genuinely am upset that the Rise demo with Owen, I guess I either didn't record it or accidentally deleted it or something. I don't know.
All right. Hey. Okay, I somehow got out. I don't know how. This game doesn't make any sense to me.
I've only put almost 1,000 hours into Monster Hunter games. I can't understand this.
Are you guys fighting with the Great Azuchi or something?
I died. Remember that?
I'm playing
Yeah.
Gucci.
All right.
I suppose Duncan just left. But Duncan, if we fight the Arzuros first, we get more hunt time.
It's true.
Don't worry, Duncan. The Arzuros is coming to you.
I see.
The monsters fighting each other now?
Yeah, they do that, and it's a fucking waste of time. Like, the first time you see it, you're like, oh, that's cool, that's a new animation. And then in every hunt, like, a full, 2 minutes of your time are spent just standing there fucking watching the same animation you've seen 1,000 times.
Alright.
And the fucking rest of the Monster Hunter community goes apeshit for it. I don't understand it. I'm clearly in the minority in this one.
Yes.
So feel free to loudly disagree with me when the game comes out and you think turf wars are good.
Okay.
Whoa, I can slide down hills when I sprint?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, also, you could do an attack out of that. That's a pretty cool moveset thing that got added in World. See, I can say good things about Monster Hunter World.
Shocking.
Yeah, well, kind of is the way I discourse. Tomorrow, Duncan and I have a heated discussion.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm kind of interested in seeing how that one goes. Because
Tomorrow?
I vaguely remember that. It's a Star Wars thing.
We talk about Star Wars for about 90 full minutes, and
Oh, and about how I don't think the prequels are that bad.
yeah, the bulk of the spirited discussion was the fact that you called the sequels the shit trilogy, and I'm like, how can it be anything but the prequels?
Oh, okay.
We don't have to relitigate. It's
No, I recall.
yeah. I thought it was a good, not like just being mean to each other discussion.
Yeah, no, we don't do that.
We don't. I paid several $100s to go in the future visit you.
So, I have a thing to ask Chris. What is the name of this like tattoo guy that you're getting done?
Ask Duncan.
All right.
His name is Jack Giletti. And he did my whole sleeve.
Yes.
And I think when you first got your tattoo, you sent me to his Instagram, and I was like, oh, he does have good American traditional, and that's when this whole idea spawned.
Yeah. He can do just about any kind of style.
Thought I'd-
I feel like that was not that good. I don't know what everybody.
It is the best weapon in the game.
I like it doesn't do shit for damage.
Are you charging your shots?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you missed there. Have you considered hitting the monster?
Like that did like 30 damage total.
That feels like I don't know. I refuse to put numbers on because they distract me. I'm an easily distractible person.
Fair.
I just like having feedback on whether or not I'm like.
Yeah, that's what every reasonable human being thinks about them. It turns out.
Yeah. I think that looked cool.
I do think it does like take some charm away from the game.
What's next? Health bars? Am I right, gamers?
Yeah, I would write it. I would write it specifically. It would be just me.
Seems like an
Which,
ineffective riot.
yeah, I guess I'd just be like disturbing the peace. No, really, I'm rioting. I need to riot. Sir, you threw a brick through a Starbucks window. That's not a riot. That's just property disruption.
That's just a crime. You committed, sir. Listen to me.
No, health bars, man. They put health bars in my Monster Hunter. I can't take it. Just like. Sir,
I think I missed.
Please go.
I do this big XA attack and then it just doesn't really do that.
I think it's dead.
I forget. There's probably like a hunter's notes, right? What's the thing with the XA?
Also, do you guys want to know the most hipster thing to ever exist that is now in Broad Ripple?
Sure.
Yeah, I was waiting for a response there.
Sorry, I was trying to see if the hunter's notes told me what Duncan's XA situation was, because I feel like there was something special about it.
It does a big special shot, but it doesn't seem to do very much.
Like, that's the one where you, like, drag it on the ground in a circle around you or something, right?
It's like you kneel down and do a big chargey shot. Maybe it's different for every bow. I bet that's what it is you get like a different special shot for each bow or whatever.
I started playing bow, I think, in Monster Hunter World, but then it was the single most popular weapon, and I'm like, if I ever play online, it would just be 4 bow users in this lobby. I need to start with another weapon. Jordan, what's the hipster thing?
There's now a cold brew coffee bar in Broad Ripple.
Like all it does is cold brew?
Yep, it's all cold brew.
It's dumb.
I like it because I like cold brew, but it's definitely like, wow, this is very specific.
I feel like cold brew is something that people prefer to make in their own refrigerators.
It's very easy.
Like that feels like the appeal to cold brew to me, is that you could just have it fucking ready whenever you want in the comfort of your own home.
Yeah, I mean, that is the general appeal, definitely. But, I mean, it's a different brewing process, and it definitely creates, like, a different style, so it's, like, kind of nice to... And, like, I don't know, I go to coffee shops and get, like, decent coffee kind of thing, so... The fact that it's not hot isn't really a problem for me.
I was thinking about getting into coffee because there are a bunch of nice little cafes on Clark Street, a block away from me. But then I stopped going places.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
That's the issue.
Wait, how did you end up like that? I thought that was your ass. But hey, I'm vaccinated. I can fucking spit wherever I want. Government can't tell me not to spit no more.
I don't know if that's entirely true.
Although early returns on research is pretty positive in that regard.
Yeah, I mean the general like consensus.
I don't think they've been
seems to be
specifically researching the spit,
No, but
wanton spit, but yes.
It's very unlikely.
It seems that they're like actually it probably does generally like prevent transmission, which is nice.
Not that it's impossible.
Yeah.
Right, but also like that's just how vaccines work.
But close enough to impossible that
It lowers severe infections and hospitalizations, which means it's just going to be the flu.
Yes.
Which is the point.
So yeah.
it's just what we want.
Also, it feels weird because it seems like America is kind of like doing better than Europe right now, which is interesting to me. That's been kind of fun.
Rollouts there have not been as good as ours have.
And then like they decided AstraZeneca, they're just not going to use it anymore.
Oh, I thought the AstraZeneca thing isn't as effective, which is why it wasn't being used. But then I also saw we're just sending 3 million vaccines AstraZeneca to Canada and Mexico. So I was just like, wait, I thought they were bad.
No, the concern, at least what I saw, was that they were worried about blood clots. But I think a lot of people are like criticizing it because it's like a lot of people are seeing it as sort of an overreaction to like a pretty minor issue. Especially because blood clots are pretty common in people anyway, and like a lot of the populations that they recorded them in are like old. And like, yeah, those people get blood clots.
So there's just like people are being concerned because they're like, hey, we should be concerned rather than be blasé about this situation. And then others are like, yeah, well, you may be over concerned.
Yeah, that's definitely like the criticism I've seen. I haven't dug into it enough to see for sure, but there's a lot of people like, oh, there's like been like a lot of people saying like, oh, there's been like 20 cases of blood clots until they like shut everything down. And it's just like, well, if that's the case, then yeah, there probably is an overreaction, but I can't say for sure whether or not those numbers are.
But also, we're able to just give 3 million doses to our neighbors because we are doing a good job with the vaccinations without those 3 million doses. So
yeah, like America's doing okay right now, and I would be very excited to see them start really seriously like exporting it in the next couple months.
yeah, hey, give it to the global south instead of like being like, I don't know, those vaccine companies do need to make money somewhere.
Yeah.
And it should probably be from the poor countries.
Yeah. and like I don't know, like and it's like not that I think that like America needs to maintain its global hegemony, but like if you don't do it, like Russia has a functioning vaccine too. Like they will gladly ship it out to other people to like increase their global reach. Like. Also, Europe should probably seriously look into Sputnik.
Didn't a few European countries just go back into shutdown or something?
Yeah, Europe is preparing for a third wave. And like they're I think they're actively prepared for it to get much worse very soon, and their vaccination efforts have been like essentially ground to a halt. And they weren't great to begin with. Like apparently they were just really terrible.
Oh, good. We'll wait for Tim. He'll be on in a few minutes.
All right.
Hey, I don't think I've got my fucking stimulus check, so actually things are bad for me too. Europe, check your privilege.
Yeah. Come on, Europe. Like you're just going through another wave of a deadly disease. Where's my money?
Bitch better have my money.
I got my stimulus check. That was nice.
Nice.
I will be getting the first part of my stimulus soon, as soon as they decide to mail out my tax check.
Oh my god, you're doing the tax check by mail?
Still?
No, I did it direct deposit, but it still takes apparently like 3 weeks.
Mine did not take 3 weeks. I got mine maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah, I vaguely remember it being quicker. But kind of waiting on that.
I need to do my taxes. I'm being lazy, but it doesn't take very long.
No, it does not take very long for
Yeah.
someone who has a single source of income who doesn't have, like, anything special going on.
Yeah. I have no children that I know of.
That's worrying.
I mean, even if you do, they're not dependents because you don't know about them and you aren't supporting them.
Therefore, they're not my responsibility. Never will be.
And never will be, actually, is the thing. If you don't file them as a dependent by their first birthday, you're off the hook forever as a man.
Hey, Chris, click the button.
I'll click the button now.
Yeah, alright. I don't know, it's just the timer was at 0, so...
Yeah, it just goes to choose an item, and then break the targets!
Yes. Anyway, so yeah.
Oh, there's Smash Brothers announcers things.
Also, I went to Maui. That was cool.
So you said.
It was very cool. Very, very pretty. Prettier than Oahu, I would say, in many ways.
Damn, get fucked, Oahu.
I definitely have the context for this.
Oahu just has a lot of civilization. And Maui is a bigger island with fewer people, so there's a lot more like open space.
Alright.
It's interesting that the Maui Invitation, well, I guess, is the school that hosts the Maui Invitational. Are they on?
It's Chaminade.
It is Chaminade. Are they?
Their main campus is on Oahu, but I think they might have a campus on Maui as well.
Okay, yeah. Private university in Honolulu. Yeah, it's curious that I guess that's the Maui Invitational, and they don't do it in Honolulu.
Well, then it wouldn't be the Maui Invitational. Then it'd be the Honolulu Invitational.
Correct!
We'll call it something better, like the Honolulu Hoedown or something.
Yeah, that seems very Hawaiian.
Yeah.
They got barbecue there.
The Honolulu Haluau.
The Honolulu Luau.
I'm not turning this into a wet.
Honolulu.
Honolulu. There we go.
Did you see that, like, a bunch of schools don't want to go to the NIT? Or schools opted out of the NIT ahead of time, which means teams that did not expect to be in the bracket for the NIT got put in, and we're like, oh fuck, we wanted to opt out, but now we can't.
God, what a disaster! Like, is there any point to the NIT? Like,
Yeah, this year of all years, no.
just cancel it. Like, no one cares about your tournament. It's the like also Rands.
Yeah. It's called the Not-In Tournament for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Get dunked on. Yo, this is a picture of
Wait,
Hinkle on
no,
ESPN.
None of them are good enough to get to actually dunk a basketball. If they were, they would be the actual NCAA tournament.
It's true. That's what separates them. Any team that doesn't have a single dunk for the duration of the season automatically gets slotted into the NIT,
Yeah, like,
with the team that came the closest to being the number 1 overall.
Like, you have to at least dunk once to qualify for the NCAA tournament.
It's true.
If as they're placing, as they're selecting, if they notice that you don't have a dunk, they immediately kick you out. They
say, "Get out! What are you doing? Get out! Go home!"
Where's this Hinkle picture? I'm on ESPN right now, and it's just a cluttered mess.
That's true. Well, I mean, it's on the men's college basketball page under the said subheading "Road to the Final Four." And I recognize those weird angular I-beams.
God, Hinkle is so cool.
Hinkle is one of the cooler sporting venues.
It's up there.
It is inarguably the coolest one, and I will fight anyone who says otherwise.
Like, people have argued, like, there's definitely some you could argue, but there's just so much, like, history, and it's just such a unique building. Like...
It's certainly the coolest building in college sports.
It's approaching, like, 100 years old.
It's a fucking national landmark.
Yeah, and it's just got such a unique architecture.
Or National Historical Building Registry, or whatever the technical.
I believe it's a National Historic Landmark, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the, like, bigger one. Or it might just be on, let me see. Yeah, it's a National Historic Landmark, so it's like it's on the National Register of Historic Places, which, like, you know, a rock that's been there for a while gets on that, and then it got.
Yo, but dude, have you seen that fucking rock?
Look, all credit to the rock. It's a cool rock, but it's also like, there's 100 rocks just like it, also on the National Register of Historic Places, and then there's National Historic Landmark, which is like, okay, this building is actually important to like maintain and that sort of thing.
It is of cultural significance.
Yeah, but no, Hinkle is. It was built in 28. It is almost 100 years old.
It's the same fucking hardwood at the bottom of the floor. Like, the original Hinkle wood is still part of the floor at Hinkle, which is incredibly cool.
It is very cool. I actually really like the upkeep they've done to Hinkle. I think they do a good job of like keeping it to be like a comfortable place to like play basketball while also like keeping a lot of like the historical like meaning of it. Like, there's nothing like it doesn't feel like they've ever like torn something apart and like rebuilt it in a way that like feels disrespectful to the history. And it's like, as much as like sitting on a bunch of like backless benches would like, you know, really get you the feeling of watching basketball like they did back in the 30s, it probably wouldn't be very much fun.
You can also do that at any football stadium anywhere in this country, and it's not fun.
It's just awful. It just sucks. Like, I'm all for like standing like the entire like sports game if it's that kind of game. That's always fun. But like, if I'm gonna be sitting down, I want to be able to rest my back against something. But yeah, it is. Like, I think it's cool. Like, I think everyone kind of knows that Hinkle is the coolest, but it's always nice to get it like in front of national eyes.
Yeah.